Okay, welcome to the first lesson of statistical analysis with R. What do we do in this part? Okay, in this part we'll start talking about questionnaires. I will not go into the deep details on how to build a questionnaire, which question to ask and which question not to ask and how to formulate them. Even though I'm an expert on it, it's not my subject and it's not part of this course. You have another course for this task here. I will just go through variables organization. So once you have built a questionnaire, how to organize your variables into a data structure. The data structure will be built inside R, obviously. Then I will teach you how to do descriptive analysis on this data structure with R, how to do graphs to support your descriptive analysis, and then finally statistical tests. Okay, what is R? R is the program that we will use here as an example. It's at the same time a fourth generation programming language and an environment for statistical computing and graphics. So it's an hybrid between two completely different things usually. A programming language which is extensible to function extensions, you will see they are called packages, and at the same time a statistical package which let you do statistical analysis and graphs. It has two big competitors, honestly much better than R, even though they are rather expensive, while R is completely open source. It's SPSS, Statistical Package for Social Sciences, which is an environment for statistical computing and graphics, and MATLAB, which is a fourth generation programming language. So it has two more specialized competitors, even though both can do everything. SPSS is much more suited for statistical analysis, and MATLAB is much more suited for some little programming. Okay, let's start with a questionnaire. In class, you receive this questionnaire here. Okay, I ask you to fill it, not because I want to know your personal facts, but because I just want to show you how some questions can be even misinterpreted, or what's the difference between answering to a certain question and answering to another one. Let's go through it step by step. Okay, sorry, no. Before going through it, I have to teach you something about variables. Okay, variables can be divided roughly into three big categories: the scale variable, the nominal variable, and the ordinal variable. Unfortunately, each statistical program uses different names. I am using the names of SPSS, which is the most famous one, or just another name. Okay, R makes honestly doesn't use very good names. However, I will tell also the names that are used by R. So let's start. The first category are scale or numeric variables. This is everything which can be measured, which can have, but not necessarily can have decimal digits. Sometimes a scale or a numeric variable cannot have decimal digit, but everything which can be measured and on which you can do mathematical operation. For example, time, okay, age, weight, distance in kilometers or in any other units of measure, a length, number of children. Number of children, for example, is an example of a scale variable on which you cannot have, for which you cannot have decimal digits, obviously, but it's a scale variable. Gross domestic product of a country. Okay, so these are all variables for which it makes sense saying that a person with two children has half the children of a person with four children. Or I weight 200 kilograms and I weight twice what you weight. Okay, so it makes sense making addition, subtraction, sometimes multiplication, division, or even other complex mathematical functions. Okay, so for time, for example, it makes sense to say today plus 3 days is Monday. Okay, so nominal or categorical variables. R calls these ones numeric or numerical. These ones are called by R factors. We'll see, however. These are all variables which don't have any intrinsic numerical meaning, even though sometimes they are represented by numbers. For example, the country of residence, the sex, the degree course, you can easily identify these variables because they create categories. So your subject can be divided into categories according to the country of residence or according to the sex, according to the degree course. Pay attention because sometimes these variables are represented by a number even though they do not contain any numerical meaning. For example, degree year can be 1, 2, and 3 for bachelor degrees. Okay, this is a number without any doubt, but it's not a scale variable. You will not say that a student of second year it's equivalent to the sum of 2 students of the first year. Doesn't make sense at all. Okay, so this is just a category represented by a number. So pay attention because sometimes nominal variables are represented by a number, but they are nominal. Okay. Finally, there is a category which is halfway between scale and nominal. These are ordinal variables. So whenever your variable has only a meaning of an order, so there is an ordinal meaning, in this case, it's an ordinal variable. For example, education level, so elementary school, primary school, high school, bachelor degree, master degree, PhD, okay? These don't have any intrinsic mathematical meaning, but have a clear order. Also ranking, for example, first, second, third, fourth, okay? And finally, the famous Likert scale. What is a Likert scale? Here we have some good examples. Here, this is a Likert scale. So a Likert scale is a scale from 1 to n, okay, which usually identifies only levels. So how do you feel? Your general health, very poor or very good? From 1 to 10. It doesn't have any intrinsic meaning. It's not true that a person with 8 feels twice as good as a person with 4. No, doesn't make sense. Okay, but there is clearly an order meaning. So a person with 4 for sure feels worse than a person with 8. So whenever you have an order meaning, it's an ordinal variable. Likert scale is the most famous one. It's this one. Okay, so it's just a scale from 1 to n. Usually n, let's say, traditionally it's 5 or 7. If you want to give to the person who is answering, the possibility to choose the category in the middle. Okay, or you can choose 4 Likert scale, so a Likert scale with only 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, if you want to force the person to take a decision. For example, in the questionnaire that you're going to fill in at the end of this course to evaluate the course, you will have only 4 elements, so very bad, quite good, very good. In this way, you are forced to take a decision, okay? Because if there were 5 elements, probably many of you would have chosen the element in the middle, and the person who needs to evaluate the courses will not have an answer in one direction or in the other one. So this is a Likert scale. In this case, with 10 categories, I think there are even too many, honestly. But the person who built this questionnaire decided to do like this. What to do with ordinal variables? Ordinal variables in R are called ordered. Well, you will see that ordinal variables will be treated as nominal variables whenever they have few categories, let's say 3, 4, maximum 5, and will be treated as scale variable, even though this is theoretically wrong, will be treated as scale variables whenever they have more than 5 categories. So, for example, this one, with answer from 1 to 10, will be considered a scale variable in all the statistical analysis, even though it's wrong, because the distance between 1 and 2, it's not necessarily perceived by the person who answers as the distance between 7 and 8. Okay. Even though whenever they have many categories, it's much easier in statistical analysis to consider them as ordinal variables. Okay, so now let's go through the questionnaire overview. Okay, this is the questionnaire that you have received during the course. It's not because I want to get to know your facts, your personal activities, but just to give you the possibility to know very well the questions because you have tried to answer them. Let's go through the questions one by one. Gender, male or female? Well, this is a nominal variable. It divides your sample, the people who answer, into two categories, the male and the female one. Can you notice, please, that there is a circle here? Traditionally, the circle, let's make the circle more evident. Okay. Traditionally, the circle means only one answer is possible, while the square means more than one answer is possible. Okay, this is tradition. Usually you have also to specify it, so more than one answer. Okay, you have also to specify, otherwise the person will never understand. Okay, I promise to stop teaching you how to build the questionnaire. Let's go to the variables. Age. Well, age, I expect the people will answer with age in years, but I will for sure there will be people who answer with a year of birth. Well, it's age, a number. This is obviously a scale variable. Okay. While for databases, writing down the age, it's completely wrong because when the database will when time will pass, the database will become obsolete if you have the age written as age. It's much better to ask for the birthday. Well, for a questionnaire, on the other hand, it's completely different. It's much better to ask for the age because the questionnaire is a static picture of the current reality. You're not planning to use this questionnaire within 10 years. All the things will have changed. Okay, so it's a picture of the current reality right now at this age. Okay, marital status. Okay, well, single, married, de facto, so married or similar, divorced, widowed. Okay, circles. This is a nominal variable, obviously. Okay, unless you believe there is an order between singles and married and divorced and widowed, but I don't think so. Highest education level completed. Okay, primary school, secondary school, trade training, post-secondary, undergraduate degree, postgraduate degree. This is the bachelor and this is the master. Well, this is a ordinal variable. There is an evident order in these variables. Okay, uh, so obviously usually I don't like asking the highest education level because first of all it creates problem when dealing with different countries. For example, in Italy this thing here doesn't exist. Okay, after secondary school you must take an undergraduate degree. There is no other strange things. So it's much better, according to my opinion, asking for how many years of education have you received. So you will answer for sure in Italy with 13 if you have finished primary school, if you have finished secondary school, 16 if you have finished a bachelor, etc., etc. Weight and height. It's a good idea to specify the unit of measure because some people write it in pounds or in meters, in inches, in feet. Okay, these are clearly true scale variables. Okay, overall, how would you rate your general health, physical fitness, current weights? These are three different variables, even though the question is the same one. So it's written as question number 7. It's not 7, it should be 7, 8, 9. These are three variables. Well, you usually, this trick, it's because the people get bored easily. And if you put three questions into one, they have the impression that they are answering less questions. Okay, as we have said before, it is a Likert scale from 1 to 10. It's always good to specify. It's always good to specify which one is the very poor and which one is very good, because there are always people inverting them. Okay, the person hopefully will cross or will circle the answer. Okay, this is a Likert scale, and thus it's a ordinal variable. Even though, since there are numbers, okay, while here there are not numbers, since there are numbers, it can be considered also somehow as a scale variable. Do you smoke? Yes, no. If yes, how many cigarettes do you smoke per day? again, two questions with say hidden in one number. Okay, to smoke, yes, no. If yes, how many cigarettes per day? This is a nominal variable, and this is obviously a scale variable. Okay. When you ask questions like this, you have always the problem of somebody answering no and then writing here 3. Okay. In particular, even many people will answer no, you still have to use a second variable to store this information also for them. Okay. So all the people will have one variable storing this information here and one variable storing this other information, even the people who answer no here. By the way, whenever you plan a questionnaire, it's always a good idea to write also the codebook. Okay. The codebook, it's a little file, okay, which tells the person who will have to convert the questionnaire into a file, a computer file, how to code the questions. Let's see. Identification ID 0. Well, I introduce a new variable, identification ID, which, if the questionnaire is made on paper, I will write on the paper, because I can assure you that at the end of the work of conversion between paper questionnaires and computer file, you will for sure realize that there are some mistakes, and you will have, in this way, you have the chance to go back and check. Okay, if the survey is done online, this will be an automatic number assigned by the online system. Gender 0 female 1 male. So you can ask me, why do use this is the name of the variable, gender, the variable that we will use inside the computer, and this is the coding. Why do we use a number? Can't we use simply female and male? Yes, but many statistical programs prefer that you code the things with a number and then you attach a label. So many statistical programs prefer this way of coding things. Age, well, there is nothing to discuss here. The name of the variable will be age. Marital status, the name of the variable will be marital, will give 1, 2, 3, 4. Even though we use number, there is no order here. So this will be a nominal variable. Highest education levels achieved. Well, here we start facing with the problem that some variable names can be rather long if you use the complete question. So we'll abbreviate with ed level. 1 primary, 2 secondary, 3 trade, 4 undergrad, 5 postgrad. Okay. Weight will be weight and height will be height. The 3 Likert variables, we'll use 3 variables, health rate, fit rate, and weight rate. Well, this is pretty straightforward. 1 to 10 will be 1 to 10. Concerning cigarettes, yes, 1 and 2 no. Okay. Use always the same coding. If you use yes, 1 and 2 no here, use it also here. Don't use yes 1 and 2 no here, and here yes 2 and 1 no 1. Otherwise you will make a chaos. How many cigarettes per day will be variable smoke num. Okay, let's go back to the questionnaire. How many standard alcoholic drinks do you consume on an average day? This is honestly a not clear question. What do you mean with standard alcoholic drinks? Okay. But let's take, for example, a beer, 1 liter of beer. Is it a standard alcoholic drinks? It's the same as a 0.2 liters. Okay, in any case, the questionnaire is built in this way. It's not built by me, as you can guess. And the person will write here. Many people will write something like 8, 10. Okay. And in this case, you will have to take the value in the middle, for example. Okay, or we'll write 7.5. In this case, you will have to decide whether to round up or round down. How many drinks containing caffeine? Generally, how many hours do you get to sleep on overnight, on weeknights, and on weekends? Also here, 2 questions hidden in the same one. How many hours of sleep? No. Do you think you need so that you don't feel sleepy the next day? Do you have troubles falling asleep? Okay, these are all pretty standard. Our vnit, our vnend, our need, trouble sleep, trouble stay, weeknight. Oh, the variables here are designed to stay within 8 characters. Old computer program did not allow more than 8 characters. 2, 4, these are 10 characters. However, old computer program allow only a short variable name. Modern computer program allow longer variable names. So this could be, for example, hour, weekday, weeknight, and this hour, weekends. Okay, but this is the way it has been coded. Trouble sleep, trouble stay, weeknight, night shift, light sleep. Would you describe yourself as a light sleeper? Do you usually wake up feeling refreshed on weekdays? Okay, why is this one? Okay. How satisfied are you with the amount of sleep you get? Very dissatisfied, very satisfied. You can see same Likert scale as this one. The best way to disturb and confuse the answerer, the person who answers, is using a 10-element Likert scale here, and then an 8-element Likert scale here, a 7-element Likert scale somewhere else. So once you have decided a Likert scale, it's better to keep with the same Likert scale. Overall, how would you rate the quality of sleep? And this is again a Likert scale, but because you can see very poor, poor, fair, good, very good, excellent. It's a typical ordinal variable. In practice, it's a Likert scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with 6 elements. Let's see. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. The person, however, the person who built the questionnaire decided to put it in this format so it doesn't confuse the user with a Likert scale with 6 elements, but in practice it's a Likert scale. And now let's go to the last question. Do you have ever had one of these in the last year? Sleep apnea, restless legs, narcolepsy, bruxism. Bruxism is grinding your teeth while sleeping. This sound. Okay, and here you can see there are squares. It means that you can answer more than one. Unfortunately, when converting your questionnaire into a computer program, you must use here 4 variables. Pay attention because this is a very common mistake for students. If you are trying to convert this variable into a data structure in a computer, you must use 4 variables. This is equivalent to asking, have you ever had sleep apnea? Have you ever had restless legs? Have you ever had narcolepsy? Have you ever had bruxism? So it's equivalent to 4 questions. It's the same as if here, 1, 2, 4, I put these 6 questions into a single question. Have you ever had these things? Falling asleep, trouble staying asleep, wake up. Okay, so this in practice, it's 4 different questions hidden in the same one, and you must use 4 variables. We will do it together. 21, ever had, or let's say, sleep problems. The variables will be, which is the first one? Apnea, and we use then another variable. I will go to a new line, batch. Every time Word creates this problem. Okay, go to new line. The second one is restless legs. So rest legs. Narcolepsy e bruxism. Bruxism. Okay. Okay, much better. Okay. So, this is an overview on the questionnaire and how can we put it into a computer format. Remember, always build the codebook. If you don't build the codebook, you will soon forget whether yes was 1 or was 0, whether female was 2 or 0. This is typical. Okay, which one was divorced, which one was postgrad. Did I start with 0? Did I start with 1? You will soon forget a lot of things. And you will especially forget the variable names. Okay. Now, let's go on. Missing values. We have to open a little parenthesis on missing values. Sometimes the person who is answering doesn't answer. Even though you ask, the person doesn't answer. Or even worse, the person answers wrongly. For example, imagine if somebody here crosses male and female. Can you guess what is his gender? Well, not at all. Or if somebody here puts a cross and you don't understand whether it's 3 or 4. Okay, well, there are many people who put who answer no, then yes, and then change the mind, write no, and you don't understand anything. Okay? Or here, two things, very typical. Okay, so the person answers something incomprehensible or doesn't answer or answer wrongly. All these cases are called NA, not a variable. So you literally inside R mark the answer as NA. So in the code book, theoretically, we have an extra value, which is always NA, not a variable, are inserted manually by you whenever the datum is missing for any reason. Okay, even the paper has burned suddenly. Okay, there is another type of missing value inside R and inside all the statistical program. It's NaN, means not a number. Whenever you are trying to make calculation which cannot be done, for example, you have a certain number, okay? Some of these numbers are negative, and for your personal reason, you calculate the square root. The square root of negative number doesn't exist, so it's NaN, okay? So not a number, okay? For the statistical program, both are skipped in any statistical analysis. So it doesn't matter whether the datum is NA or NaN. For the statistical program, they are considered the same and both are skipped automatically. Okay. If you do any mathematical operation, you will receive not a number or NA if the mathematical operation involves only NA. So if you take a not a variable number and you calculate, you sum it to a variable number, you will get not a variable or not a number depending on the statistical program. So for statistical program they are the same, for you they are slightly different. This means that it's caused by the person who is answering, and this means that it's caused by a mathematical problem or by a not a variable datum for which you could not do any mathematical operation. Okay, let's start talking about R. Here we'll start a little technical session on R, which is the standard program that we use. Okay. First of all, you can theoretically install R on your computer. Well, if you will install on your computer, apart from the problem of trying desperately to set the language to English, okay, good luck, it will work. However, I don't see any reason for doing it because you can easily use the portable R version. So it's a version which you can put on a USB pen drive or on your computer. Okay, whenever you need to move it somewhere else, okay, you just put it on a pen drive and you can move it around. You have always the same version with the same package and you don't have any problem. If you are so crazy that you plan to use the R installed by university, good luck, because there are two versions, one for Windows 7 and one for Windows 8. Both have serious problems. Okay, so I don't take any responsibility. If you don't have a USB pen drive, tell me and I will buy one for you. Okay, let's see R. So I have, let's see, lectures. I have R on my computer. Okay, R. Can you see R portable? Okay, so I have a directory which contains R. Okay, if you don't know what is a directory, okay, please, you have serious problems and go back to the pre-course. Okay, so I will click on this R portable. Done. Okay, it's available on my website. You just can download it and uncompress. If you don't know what does uncompress mean, please go back to the pre-course. Okay, so it's better download it from my website because it's already pre-configured rather than downloading it from here. Okay. And uncompress wherever you want. Okay, Let's see. This is R. Okay, this is the R console. Working with R console directly, so writing the command here, it's really difficult. Okay, so we will work with a package which I have already installed for you. Okay, okay. It's here, packages, load packages. But before doing it, I will show you briefly how to install packages in case at exam we will need to do it. So if you need to install a new package, you choose install packages. You wait 3 minutes. No, I'm joking a little more. You choose from which mirror, from which website. Well, if you are in Italy, maybe Italy Milano, it's the best choice. But you can choose if you want to download from Tokyo. Okay, you wait now for 3 minutes. You will receive now the list of available packages. This is the list of available packages. So packages are extensions of R. Okay, it's a long list. Okay. We actually don't need anyone, but you just click, you press OK. Okay. And R, if it is necessary, R will ask you for the permission to install other packages. Okay, in case it's necessary. Okay, now we don't do it because we don't need any package. I try to give you R complete with a full list of packages. Okay, but in case you need, now you know how to install other packages. Now I click on cancel. Okay. Let's see how to load a package. So a package which is already installed, such as our commander, which is the package that we'll always use here, must be loaded. So let's see how to load it. Load package. This is the list of installed packages. There is recommender, our commander. Okay. And our commander starts. Okay. Welcome to our commander. Okay, make it full screen. Okay. Okay. To load our commander. Okay, in case you have missing packages, but usually you don't. If you're using my version, I have never had problem of missing packages. Okay. So our commander is already installed in my version, and you probably will never have problems of missing packages. Okay, packages, load packages, our commander. First thing you have to do is changing the working directory. Why? Because our commander has some problems navigating through your directories trees. Okay, choose an easy to find directory, for example, your desktop. Okay, and do there your R exercises. It's crucial at exam. At exam, don't put your files God knows where, and then at the end of the exam blame the computer for having eaten your files. Okay, because I will not believe you. I believe only in the computer. Okay, so file, change working directory. Okay. Instead of putting my files randomly, I will put my files on my desktop. So now I'm sure you see, whenever you do something here in the menus, the corresponding written instruction appears. Because R works with written instruction, the menus are here only to help you a little bit. Okay. But in theory, you can work without menus and only with a written instruction. Okay. This is the place where you can write instruction. This is don't write. Uh, in this course, I will try to minimize to almost zero the instruction that you have to write with a keyboard, because I know that you are completely alien to writing things with a keyboard. Okay, and I will do everything with the menus. Okay, but sometimes we will really have to work with a keyboard. I'm sorry for your fingers. This is the output, use it output. And these are some error messages that you may see. Error messages are written in red and are usually totally incomprehensible as for every other computer program. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we have seen, oops, where is our commander? Lost our commander, too many files open. Okay, the script window, the output, and the messages. Okay, when you finish your work, you have several things that you can save. You can save the script window, which is usually something I ask you to do because it's the way I use to correct your exam. So learn how to save the script window. save script as. This is the script window. On your desktop, give it a name, exam, for example. Okay. If you don't see the extension now on your computer, please go back to the precourse. Okay. You must see the extension.r. If you don't see, don't try to put it, but go back to the precourse, save. Okay. If you want to save the output, this one, sometimes I ask you to save the output because you have built tables here and I need to see them. Save output as. You can see the output has an extension. Go to your desktop. The output has an extension txt. If you don't see it, go to the precourse. Don't try to put it manually. You must see it here and here. Okay. There is another thing you need to save, is the workspace. Oh, the script is whatever you write. The output are the answer that the computer gives to you. The workspace represents all the variables that you are using. Okay. So sometimes I ask you to save it, and you save it from here. Save our workspace as. Okay, desktop. Can you see that R suggests to with point R data? Well, please put something before the point, for example, exam.rdata. So the extension for the workspace is rdata. Okay. So you have three files, this one, and this one. Don't look at the icons. The icons on your computer probably look differently. Look only at extension. One is txt, and if it opens up, okay, it contains simply the output. Another one, can I go to my desktop? No, I can't. Another one has extension rdata, contains the workspace. Another one has extension .r and contains whatever you have typed. I repeat, don't look at the icon. The icons are different on any computer that you use. Okay. Okay, I decided this icon because I like them. Okay. There is a fourth thing that I suggest to save. It's the markdown. Honestly, I don't know what is it, and I think it's useless. Okay, it's my opinion, but maybe it has some secret use. But don't worry about it. Okay. Okay. So how to save the script? How to save the output? Okay. You can, if you want, copy and paste them. So if you prefer, but I don't see any reason why doing it, let's go to our commander. You can simply select, copy, okay, and paste somewhere else. Why has it done some remove? Okay, I see that in the meantime R has decided to do other things. Okay, the workspace, it contains the data structure. Okay, I have taught you how to save. Sometimes at the beginning of the exam, I write load the workspace blah blah blah. Okay, so let's see how can you load a workspace. File. Unfortunately, you don't have load workspace. I don't understand why, but seems so. You don't have the way to load a workspace. How can you do? You must go back to the R console. Here you have the load workspace. You choose your workspace. For example, suppose I ask you to load userials.rdata. You go to the desktop or wherever you want. If you don't see rdata, go back to the precourse. Open. Okay, and you load the workspace. So unfortunately, to load a workspace, you must do it from our console. You cannot do it from our commander. Our commander probably have really literally forgotten to put here load our workspace as.